It's Jason Abraham, the Shadow Teacher. And first, I want to warn you as we start to take a look down the rabbit hole of conspiracy. If you are someone who is working on your own spirituality, if you are working on raising your vibration and still have not experienced a sizable taste of your own power and potential, I advise you first work on raising your vibration, raising your own energy before you go and look at the realms of evil and darkness and conspiracy. That being said, for other light workers, it's crucial that we understand what evil is and the role of evil and how it expresses itself in the spiritual realm as well as the material realm. As evil provides the pressure and the resistance that we need in working through our own karma and fulfilling our soul contracts. So today, I'm going to examine some of the ideas of some of the actors that are generally deemed as the bad guys in the truth community, the globalists, and talk about some of their ideas and, again, how they relate, how they show up in the material world, as well as how that relates to our soul contract and our spiritual work. So, if you are in this state where you are digging in and you're looking at evil, I implore you, we need to use all of our faculties. We need to use our 5D senses of intuition and discernment and our psychic abilities to see beyond the veil. But we also need to implore all of our 3D senses, our thinking, our mind. And so I found one of the greatest ways to understand evil is to look at its perspective through its own eyes. So I read this book by Klaus Schwab, a globalist. And again, I want to understand why someone like this or someone like Bill Gates is perceived as being a villain and get a look at their perspective. And so a couple of issues I want to talk about in this video are overpopulation and climate change. These are issues that there's great debate if whether these issues are real problems that this world is facing, or are these issues simply contrived ideas by globalists who have solely the intention of creating a problem that an unconscious populace is going to react to and give away more of their sovereignty to these daddy figures. And these issues are addressed in this particular book. And my belief is that there is an element of validity to them. As when I've gone out in the world, I can feel energy shifts in the earth. I can feel that the earth is not happy with some of the things that humankind is doing. However, I do not believe it is the place for a daddy figure to restrict my freedoms and your freedoms and tell you what you can and cannot do. It is not their place to work out our karma. However, that's what they believe the role is. Does evil really see itself as evil? And I would say that most of these globalists believe that they're actually doing good. that they are saving the planet and preserving life. However, are they willing to give up their own resources to do it? I don't see any evidence of that. What I see is usually their mechanisms are simply to place more control, but they believe they're entitled to do it. And so let's look at another issue. One of the globalist issues that they believe is destroying the planet is overpopulation. And one of their solutions is a lot of these people come from a background of eugenics. And the ideas behind eugenics is that we have what they call useless eaters, which are just basically human beings that are consuming resources like a bacteria that has gone haywire. And they believe that the only way to stop that is to reduce the population. So we have these ideas of sterilization that come from these eugenicists. And again, in their mind, they believe they're doing good. But if you look at a soul contract, where if you look at all of us, if you believe that every soul that's coming into this earth is here to work out karma, do they have the right to deny a soul its chance to work out karma, no matter what the circumstances that soul is born in? Is it their place to take that from that soul? One of the globalists look at the enemy of a higher good and higher consciousness on the planet as extreme capitalism, which is this selfish idea of being able to do whatever the fuck you want, when you want. And they look at American culture as the great enemy to their great plan of a one world government. And again, from the perspective of karma, from a soul contract, is it black and white? Or is there something, or do we have two factions? We have this one faction that seeks to own everything and monopolize everything and promote rampant consumerism. And then the other faction, this globalist faction, that wants to own everything and tell you what you can and cannot consume. And those who study reptilian conspiracies, you will find that the reptilian factions battle amongst themselves for power and control. But I would say, again, there's some validity to this for our own karma, as I've found that part of my soul contract is understanding that I am a sovereign being. And when we step into our own sovereignty, we realize that we are responsible for the karma that we create, both positive and negative. And I've found that there is negative karma that goes along with overconsumption. So part of my awakening process has been understanding what I need to consume and the right quantities, the right things, and when I'm consuming, always having purpose in what I'm doing. But again, that is my choice, and I value my choice. I value the gift of being able to work out my own karma. And what I find is when I believe that my karma, an action that I'm participating in, has negative consequences for other sovereign beings or for the planet Earth or for life on the planet Earth, it's up to me to change that behavior, to make some different choices that is in a pro-life karma. So we hear about Satanism, and satanic agendas are essentially anti-life. They're an inversion of the life process. And I would say these reptilian agendas of the globalist these warring factions are satanic agendas, because whenever one is seeking to deny sovereign beings their sovereignty, they are working in an anti-life process. So, again, in terms of soul contract, we are sovereign beings. And these globalists, even though they look down on us, our consent is necessary for them to execute their plans. And they know that if we wake up to the power of who we are, then what they value most, which is power and control, they'll have to let go of it. So I've found, again, we wake up in our own time and our own process. And as information comes to us, then we have new possibilities for new possible choices. And so what I wish for you as I conclude this video is that when you see the truth of the systems of your existence and you're presented with a new choice and your understanding of your sovereignty comes in, you make the right choice. And this is for all the star seeds and chosen ones. If we all wake up to our sovereign power, we change the earth and we shift the timeline. And when we shift the timeline, I will see you on the other side. Peace.